So I don't know if anyone's noticed, but I feel like Dreamworks has been on a comeback in the 2020s. I know it sounds weird, but allow me to explain. When it came to the 2010s for Dreamworks, it was easily not one of their best decades. Okay, they definitely had a few, if also well, received like the House of Dragon trilogy, Kung Fu Panda 2, and 3. And well, if you like Captain Underpants, and the first epic movie and Puss in Boots and Eyes of the Guardians that became fan favourites for us. But most of their other films were pretty much looked down. But when and the 2020s came along, that's when the studio to release some of their best animated films in a long. Of course, you've got the masterpieces like Puss in Boots: The Last Wish and The Wild Robot, which I consider to be either studio's best films, and yet can't decide which one of the two is better. And you've got some other films that while not as great as those ones, are able to be pretty good. Like Dogma and Orion and the Dark. And at the end, when say Trolls all band together, Ruby Beacon and Teenage Kraken, and Kung Fu Panda 4. Or what was the film that started it to come back? Well, that would be either 2022 animated feature, The Bad Guys, and with the sequel coming out on Friday for us in the UK, I think that would be as good of a time as any to look back on that and see what it holds up. I remember when I saw the trailers for this film, and while people were excited for this film, I was definitely on the more hesitant side. I didn't think it would be bad, no pun intended, but I didn't think it would be the best film in film Dreamworks. But after watching it, seeing it back in 2022, I really liked it. And it did grow on me on every week. To the point where I really liked it after rewatching it again to prepare for the second. Okay. And so yeah. I think I'll start with my favourite thing about this movie, the animation. Man, and this film looks incredible. It's very noticeable. Or that Dreamworks has had a bit of inspiration from Into the Spider-Verse, as well as a few animes. And the result, all that was made by the animators really showed. Of course, the Spider-Verse style can be found in the action scenes and the main environments of the feature. As for the anime style, that can be mainly found on the facial expressions of the characters when they have to be exaggerated. These two styles mix very well together to make the film entertaining to watch and very enjoyable. Also, this film is absolutely hilarious. Yes, the comedy in this film is really good. And all the jokes are very funny. I actually think Mr. Shark got the best jokes. I love how when Wolf was introducing Syndicate, and he just at the shop. Ox's greatest trick was stealing the Mona Lisa disguised as the Mona Lisa. So I don't know about you, but that's a great way to steal art. I honestly found that to be hilarious. Just going into the story, I will admit it is quite simple. It's the typical story of where the bad guys have to pretend to be good guys, but one of them actually wants to be a good guy, and then others slowly but surely begin to want to be good guys too. However, the execution really helps with this film, And this is especially the case with all the big plot twists. There are, it's when the second half of the film starts. That's when the film threw open as many twists as that can be found in these types of heist movies. And I never felt it was like the film. It's overblowing these twists, making sure, or there's a plot twist after plot twist after plot twist. It's all the plot twists put into the film. It makes sense, and some have a lot of layers to it. Most of these twists would make me relate with the characters. It says, which along with the animation, which are the best things about this film. Mr. Wolf is a really strong main character. He's like the easy command that can easily chomp. Really has that charm to trick his way to get everything he wants. However, as the film goes on and he gets a taste of being good, there's a part of him that feels like there's more to him than just a bad guy. I want to finally break out of that stereotype. It'd be good. But I also really liked his team. I remember when I first saw the film, their roles didn't really stand out to me as much because they didn't have the biggest focus. However, I grew to really like them the more I watched the film. I already said that Mr. Shark had some great jokes, but Tarantula's funk, the way he's good at hacking through stuff. Anna can be entertaining with how he's a loose cat and with a short fuse, as well as proven to have a really great singing voice with his song Good Tonight, which is easily one of the highlights of the feature. And I honestly really love the bond between Wolf and Snake. It is honestly the heart of the feature and the thing that had me very invested. Especially on this reel. Of course, also the group of bad guys where one wants to be good and the other wants to stay bad. It's going to be complicated. However, when Snake and the cat and it will after they find out a secret, Snake really got up to me when he said that the reason why he hates birthdays is that when you're born on a snake, no one owes up to your party, gives you presents, and to him, birthdays are just a reminder to him that the world sees him as a monster. That it honestly delivered for the great message about racial stereotypes of how people can easily judge you by how you look. And if you look like a bad guy, they'll think you're a bad guy, even if there's more to you than that. It's not trying to be in your face or anything like that, which I love. And when I caught it on this recent viewing, it honestly got me more emotionally invested than when Snake stabbed at Wolf like that. And I also really loved the twist of Snake pretending to jump or enforce this if Marmalade the big main villain, then when he actually is doing good to fall Marmalade from the inside. I love that twist when I first saw it, and I loved it even more here. Speaking of which, Marmalade really grew on me as a twist villain over time. Yes, his twist is kind of predictable, and it's easily the weakest of the film's plot twists. However, I really like the hints that were put out through the film. I suppose actually, like when they got eyes arrived at the gala, he said, "All eyes will be on you tonight, not me." And yeah, everyone wants to see if the bad guys have really changed their ways, so no one would probably be paying attention to Marmalade. It will give him a good opportunity to go on with his heist and steal the meteorite without anyone noticing. And, and, it's honestly a really clever, and I also love how he knows that the bad guys would be the perfect patsies in this plan. And come on, when people look at Bad in the dictionary, do they see an adorable little guinea pig? No, they see you, and they always will. So yeah, Marmalade the twist villain that didn't. I didn't think too much on my first year, but the more I watched the film, the more I gained to like it. I also really like the twist. It's with Diana. As she is a fox, Ox is quite noticeable that there's probably more to her having this good guy persona she's putting on. And the twist about her being an ex-con known as the Crimson Paw, it honestly it was the best twist in the film for me. And it added more into the message I was talking about earlier, when she was about to be the first and only criminal to ever visit the Golden Dolphin, in which is known to be the heist that's broken every criminal that's tried to go over it. She had it, and she had a great escape route to get out without being caught. However, she looked at herself in the mirror, and all she saw was this sneaky, tricky fox that people always said she was. She proved to them that there was more to her, and gave up that life to be herself, but on the right side. Yeah. Also, I do know that everyone is simping over Diane, and especially the furry team. I mean, Unity. Yes, everyone has a crush on her, and honestly, yeah, I don't blame them. I mean, I don't have a huge one, but I will element. I do see where everyone's coming from. And when they say she's hot. So yeah, the Bad Guys was a film I really liked when I first saw it, and the more I watched it, the more I grew to love it. It has a really good and nicely executed story, with some fantastic animation, lovable characters, great plot twists. It's excellent comedy, as well as a fantastic voice cast. Seriously, all the actors did really well, especially with my two personal favourites, Sam Rockwell as Wolf and Mark Maron as Snake. So yeah, I'd highly recommend giving this film a watch. You'll have a great time. I remember when I first saw it, I think I gave it an 8.5, but now I'd add an extra point to it and give the film a 9.5 out of 10. And as for the sequel, I am really looking forward to it. At the moment, there's at the time for recording this, I don't think any reviews for the sequel are up, so I can't judge from that. But that doesn't change any of the fact that I'm really looking forward to the sequel, and I am hoping it's just as good, if not better, than the original. So, if you guys enjoyed this video, feel free to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!